Hey y'all, I want to talk about complicated state management. I'm gonna bust out my little drawing pad because I feel like pictures are going to be useful here. All right, hold on a second. Let me get myself all set up. Okay. So I had to borrow a project because I wanted to take something that was really like phase 4, but would and has tackled the issue um of nested state properly. Um, and I wanted to kind of explain what it is, why we want to do it, and then break it and kind of go through the process of working out how am I going to make this work. And I'll just pick one route, like edit. Edit tends to be kind of complicated. So, what is nested state? First of all, let me just draw a little picture here. In the context of this project, this person. Oh, I didn't check whether my pen is actually working or not. Nope. In the context of this project, the person has products and they have reviews. So a user, once they log in, they can make reviews, they can edit their review, they can delete their review of these products. So what is the state situation? What does it currently look like? Come on, wake up, buddy. Oh, shoot. Pen's not working. All right, pause. Cut. Okay, I think we're back on. Just had to download the driver. Feel like I'm in 1992. Praise the Lord. Here we go. All right. So they have an app level state called products. Products is an array. It's an array of objects. You would have something similar in your project, right? This comes from a fetch, right? So we make a fetch to products, which is the index call. So we get all the products and we load it up into state. That's in a use effect, and that happens one time. Now, what's complicated about this is that the products have many reviews, right? So there's going to be a key value pair here. Maybe there's, there's name, there's ID, whatever there is. But there's also a key called reviews, which points to its own array, right? So each one of these has a reviews key, and that reviews key points to a value, which is an array, and the array is itself an array of objects, right? So this is intentional. We want to manage state like this. We don't want to have a product state variable and a reviews state variable, because having the review connected to the product is useful. I mean, we're probably not going to look at the reviews out of the context of looking at the product. You might have an app where, maybe you want to look at all of the users' reviews or something, but there's a way to solve that problem given this structure. This is a natural structure that should be used if you're doing two fetches, one for products, one for reviews. You're not doing it right. So the problem then comes in when I need to respond at the end of my, say I'm editing a review or adding a review. I've got to change this attribute, but I got to change this attribute, by maybe if it's adding a review, I got to put a new one in here. If it's editing, I got to go in and make some changes to this. But that means that I'm really changing this. I'm leaving all these the same. And so state management is more complicated. That's the trade-off of using the associations that the backend provides. A product has many reviews. The trade-off is on the front end, I got to do a little bit more work to figure out how to make those changes, right? So I'm going to come back to this picture as we kind of think about what I need to do. But if we my instinct is to go and just mess with the edit thing. If I'm going to edit this, basically, I need to make sure I'm looking at the right product. Then I need to make sure I'm looking at the right review. Then I need to change that review. Then I need to update my reviews array so that it doesn't have the old reviews. Well, mostly it will have all the old reviews, but one review will have changed. And then I need to make sure that is changed in the actual product object. And then I need to make sure that my new products array is basically the same, but this one product is different only in as much as this review is different. Every time I talk about it, I get it. It's like, woof, that is a lot to keep track of. So now I'm going to shift over to code. And let's see. I want to start with I want to kind of start with it working and evidence that it's working. And so what I did was, see, I've got the app running. And again, this is not my project. Great. I'm also going to, well, here, I'll just share my screen. This is fine. All right. So this is this double rendering here. This is strict mode. So if I go over to my code and I go up to index.js and I take off strict mode, that won't happen anymore. Wait a minute, probably don't want to take out that comma. Just guessing. All right, so I'm gonna refresh, clear this out. Yeah, interesting, 1428, 1414. Okay, so, right, just sort of speaking from a general perspective, we've got this app.js. We got a console log on line 14. For some reason, we also have a console log here. I'm just going to take this one out. No, it's okay. I'll leave it in. So the first time we run through this, I'm actually kind of curious about why this is printing out an empty array. Oh, yeah, I understand why. So the first time we render this, products is an empty array, user is null, console log products, there it is, empty array. Then we finish rendering this, and once we finish rendering this, we're on the home right now, so the home route would give me the product list, which is what I'm seeing here. Once I render that, then the use effect fires. That's why line 28 is next. Now notice this reveals something important about React. When I set products on line 27, it does not immediately change the value of products, right? It changes the value of products on the next rendering, which is going to happen because it just changed state. But immediately afterwards, products is still an empty array because that's what it was. Now, line 14, we re-render console log products. This one I'm a little confused about why it's there. Then finally it populates and we get the actual products, which is an array of 5 objects. And if we look at the array and we look at a single object, we can see that it has reviews. So that's proper management from the back end. If we look at it, it's probably something in the serializer. Go to the app, we go to the serializer, we look at the product serializer, has many users, has many reviews. So that's where that's coming from, right? We're getting the keys, reviews, and users through those pieces in the serializer. These are arrays. They're set up to be arrays because it has many. And so right now, product 1 only has 1 review. All right, well, let's go in and look at it. Here's product 1. And this is somebody else's review. Now I'm going to add a review, and holy Moses, the review is this phyto corrective essence mist is amazing. And how many stars? Well, you better believe I'm going to give it 5. Post review. Okay. Works as it should. Immediately updates state. I can see it here. And if we navigate back to, well, we don't have to navigate back to app because this was properly done. The state is managed at the app level. This has been refreshed. So that means it went back through. Ooh, I only see 1 review. Let's go back. Oh, what's happening? That's not right. Oh, good. So it's not working properly, and we need to fix it. Good. All right. Because I added the review, it showed up immediately, but it did not persist. And that means that I did not manage state properly. Awesome sauce gives us a problem, a real problem to solve instead of a fake problem to solve. All right, let's look at the code base. So if we go here to the client and we go to the source components, new review, I filled out my form and I hit submit, and I got a handle submit review callback function. There it is, taking the event, preventing the default. Okay, const added review equals review rating title product ID, and I send a fetch out, and I'm supposed to stringify, right? This is how the information gets sent to the back end. All right, then I'm coming back and I'm processing it. r.ok, r.json, then add review. And so add review is where I got to track to next. The first thing I want to know, since I already know this is not working, is put a console log just saying I got here, because I just want to make sure that we ended up in the right place. So here we go. SkinCeuticals. This review did not persist. Geez, not so happy now. And I'm going to give this 2 stars. Post the review. It shows up here, but if I go back here and go back here, it doesn't persist. I did get here, however. That's a good sign, right? So I know that, let's see, where did I put get here? I'm in the wrong component. I know that I got here, which means that I must have processed through add review, and I set the show form to false. And I actually know the set show form to false worked because, of course, the form went away once I submitted it, right? Let's just confirm again that happened. Hey, and 1 star. Sorry. Okay. Ooh, interesting. That's another issue that's coming up for me. But yes, the form went away, so I know that set show form is working. So now the next piece that we need to look at logically is add review. Where is add review coming from? Well, it's a prop, which means I need to find where it came from. I'm guessing that this is in the product details, and there it is, add review. So add review takes in an argument of a review, which makes sense because the response of post, right? And this is not written in the way that most students would write: data, arrow, and then add review, data. And so basically the shorthand notation is take whatever the processed JSON is and send that into add review. Okay, so now I'm over here and I'm thinking about what's happening. So updated reviews array. Oh, well, I can see it right here. But I'm going to skip down to the bottom here. Set user, set current product. Did I ever change the top level state? The answer is no. I need to call set products. Okay, but the question is set products with what? What am I putting into set products? So basically, I need to think about the fact that, and this user has already kind of gone through and done this, but let's just look at the code that's been written. Well, actually, let's take the code out and let's kind of build it from scratch. So I have a review. I have access to, let's look at my variables here. I've got products, I've got user, I've also got this current product because there was a use effect where I went ahead and found the single product I was looking for based on the ID that came from use params. It's a very common structure, right? Now, the review that I'm looking at is the review that went into the backend. Now, by the way, if we opened up a backend terminal here, Rails C, and we look at review.all, we will see that all of the reviews have actually been going into the database. Holy Moses, not so happy now, and then hey, right? So this whole time we've been loading it up, but we're not actually getting it because we're never managing state properly. All right. So I'm just going to shut that terminal down. All right. So I've got my review. I also have access to all the products. I also have access to current product because current product was found immediately from the use effect. So by the time add review is called, I know that I have access to current product. So a good place to start, and again, thinking about that picture that we drew, a good place to start is let me get the current product up to speed with the fact that it has a new review. And that's what this person was doing here with updated product. They were creating something called updated product. So updated product is an object, right? And basically we're going to take a copy of the current product, but we're going to make a change to reviews. And in this case, reviews is the same as it was before, but we're also going to add in the new review. Okay. Now, this is one line code, but it doesn't have to be done in one line. It can be done in multiple lines, right? So I could say my first step of my problem is getting the reviews to be updated. So I could say const new reviews equals current product dot reviews, and then dot push. Ooh, careful here. This is why spreading is nice, because the return of push is not the new array. So I'll spread it, the new review in, right? And then say current product dot reviews equals new reviews. So this is basically two separate ways to solve the same problem, right? If I console log my updated product, and I always like to put a little clue here, I'll say up, and then I'll also console log current, because I think that I made the same change just in a separate way, right? So there's always multiple ways to solve the problem. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I've got broken state because I haven't figured out how to actually get the top level product state managed, but I'm working on it. All right, here we go. So, oh boy. Yes, of course, we need to declare this variable and updated product collection, right? I broke that, so I'm going to have to comment this out for now, which is fine. We'll get there. All right, here we go. So add a review. How many stars? 2. Post review. Okay, here we go. It showed up. Everything's working the way we thought it was. And look at this. I got into add review. Here's the one that I named updated review. And it is, this is the product. Okay, so this is the whole product. You can see it has 2 reviews. And this one is the whole product and it has 2 reviews. So I essentially solved the problem 2 different ways. Great. So that will work. Set current product, updated product. The other thing that has to happen is that I need to fix the fact that the collection of products now has changed. And I'm going to have to get myself up to speed on this user piece, but I want to focus more on the products piece. So essentially, products has to change. So I'm going to, again, declare a variable called new products, which is going to be essentially a copy of products, but I'm going to make one change, right? So I need to make the current product or the updated product, whichever one I want to use. I'm actually going to use, I'm going to use current product. Get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to get rid of that current product. So basically, I want this to look like a situation where, let me just draw a quick picture. I have my old array, and I think it was like 5 products. And this is actually the first product, right? So there's this array of objects, This is products. And basically, these 4 are going to stay the same. This one is going to get replaced with current product. So a really nice way to do this is by mapping. But I'm going to leave that as a challenge to you. I'm going to do this kind of the clunky way. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to filter. So write some pseudocode here. First, filter out the old product because it has changed. So I don't want that one anymore. And then second, add in the new updated product called current product. And yeah, I mean, this may change the order of the products as they're listed, but you know, there's various things that I can do to deal with that. And in fact, using map is a way to make sure that the order is maintained. Okay. I mean, I could just do a sort based on ID if I really cared about keeping this in the same order, but that's not what I'm focused on right now. So first off, I need to do, I need to declare a variable const filtered products equals products dot filter. And I'm going to make sure that I look at each product. And basically the condition will be that the product ID is just not the same as the, let's go back here. Is there something in the review that I could use? Yeah, product ID right there. So I could use the review.product ID. This will be kind of specific to your project in terms of thinking about how to make this ID condition. Of course, I do have also access to current product, so I could use that ID. So as long as the product ID, which is I'm going through each of these products one at a time, as long as that ID is not the same as the review product ID, then I know that it's going to stay the same. So I'm going to leave it in. It passes through the filter. Now, what I'm going to do is my new products. So again, I need another variable, const new products equals, and I'm going to just spread out filtered products because I want all of those, but then I want to add in current product because that's the one that I just made the change to. And finally, I'm going to set my state of products to be new products. So now what should happen is I'm changing the 2 state variables, the one that's local to this page so that it manages the page being updated, which was not a problem ever from when I picked this up and started working with it. But this one was not working right because I should see that the products overall have changed. And what that should do then is allow me to track the fact that I've made reviews. Now, I'm going to actually go back in here and try to destroy some reviews because I have all these extra reviews. Review.all, no, review.last. Oh, how about Rails console? Review.last. How about review.last.destroy? Okay, then I can just do it again, and then I can do it again, and then I can do it again. And now we should be back to a place where we can do this. All right, so here we go. Oh, okay, we didn't prepare ourselves for that because this should have come in because we're not only getting the state, we need to be able to deal with managing the state. So now I need to track upwards from product details. I'm guessing that's in, it might be just an app. Let's see. So products ID to product details. There it is. I'm missing that. Set products equals set products. Okay, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Back to this surface level. We look at this. This only has one review. Perfect. Okay, add a review. Here we go. Does it work? And we're changing the stars to 2. Post the review. We know it works here. That was already working. What else do we see in our console? We see, this is a very good sign. We see this, and we know this one has the 2 reviews in it. Beautiful. And this, the fact that this console is here tells me already that I've solved the problem, because we wouldn't be reposting app if there weren't a state change. There was a state change because I made a change to product. So when I look here, dun, 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 only 1 review. Not good. All right. So now let's see. Oh, interesting. I looked at the wrong one because of the way I built my new array. I reordered it. Aha, SkinCeuticals is here. It's this one, and it has 2 reviews. Hallelujah. All right. So if I go here, the reviews are there. Life is good. So, in the case of, and by the way, this edit button should not really be here because I did not write this review, so I should not be looking at that. Oh, interesting. And it's showing it for both people. Interesting. I wonder if this will work. Okay, this is a real review. And I thought the product was great. 4, save review. Okay, cool. So it worked on this one. But question. Oh, that's good. That's a good sign. 4, reviews 2. No. See, does it work? Rating 2. See, the edit is not actually managing the state up there. So again, this is what's hard about having nested state, but it's one of the things that you need to do. You should have done it already in phase 3. If you got away with not doing it in phase 3, you got to do it in phase 4. It really becomes the root of why using use context or Redux makes so much sense, because then instead of having to do this crazy state management, you just have one place where all of the stuff is stored, and then it's accessible throughout your front end app. Okay, hope that was helpful. If it wasn't, let me know. I'll try to make another one. See ya.